Hello, hello, hello. I didn't realize I was live. This is Kathy Cross coming to you. I believe it's day 58, could be 59, getting close to 60 days of reflections. These are days that I am giving. You know what? I might have put consecutive days live because I also do that, but that's on a different platform. So I wanted to come in and share with you on this last day of February. We're at the end of the month, the shortest month of the year. And I start out the day with communion. Love, love, love communion. This morning I read from a book on Christology. It's a book about the origins of Christ. It's very intriguing because it talks about the life of Jesus from the standpoint of a reporter or an investigator. And in his life, if you compare his life to how we live our lives today, he didn't go on social media, he didn't write books, he didn't do any of those things, but yet he was and is, still remains the most famous um, person in history. In history. Yeah, right? In history. Jesus, the most famous person in history. So it's just fascinating to read about his life. I read about it in the Bible. I also look for other places to, research. I'll show you the book. It's called Christology. It's a colorful book. I'm not getting anything for, sharing this with you, but it's just an interesting, and I love the graphics on it. I'm in a process of writing probably, yeah, 5 books. My goal is and still was to get all 5 out this weekend. It's proven to be a bit challenging when you have kind of a head cold, but I'm kind of camped out in my office tonight because I have my grandsons over. So it's a good excuse for me to stay the course and get it done. Right, get it done. At least that's my intention. So I hope you had a lovely Saturday. I had planned to get out of the house, but man, I needed rest. I really needed rest, and it's proven to be helpful to get some rest because without rest, man, it's hard to keep going. It's like running a car when it's on fumes. Doesn't work for a car, and it certainly doesn't work for the body. So I'm doing my best to take better care of myself. But something exciting I wanted to share with you. I did, you know what? I may not have posted in here, but I did a scorecard, a wealth alignment scorecard, so that you can assess where you are on a wealth spectrum. Because that's one of my, I don't know what you call it. It's one of my desires. It's also one of my, I'm just call it secret sauces. It's one of my secret sauces. I just love to teach about wealth creation. And that is what I have coming up Monday. I have it's called the Sheba method. Yeah, Sheba, Queen of Sheba, not Sheba from a sense of Indian mythology or Indian religion, but Sheba, the Queen of Sheba. You may have heard of her, or maybe you haven't, because you hear a lot about King Solomon. If you hear anything about wealth creation from a biblical standpoint, you hear a lot about King Solomon. I've been reading Proverbs every day for over 3 years. It's approaching year 4. But in reading it, every time I read it, I get a different perspective because I read different versions, and because even reading the same version, I may get a different revelation, a different insight from what I'm reading. And so that alone, I believe gives us insight and wisdom into Jesus Christ. Even though the book is about Proverbs, it's about the Holy Spirit. It's also, I believe, about the Trinity, how God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit all work together. Yes, it talks about Lady Wisdom, but without wisdom, I mean, God is wise, right? I mean, all of it all works together. I believe it's just fascinating. I'm a avid learner, avid student of the Bible of wisdom, and so, yeah, I'm going on a tangent, but I wanted to share a reflection of my day. So after I did communion, I went into this room called the Dream. What's it called? Into the Dream. So if you ever get on Clubhouse, there's a room that Nina White, let's say her last name. She's an attorney. She's also a prophetess, and she has many other titles, but she opened a dream room because she's been interpreting dreams for years. And I found that fascinating. So I started listening. And before you know it, I had my dreams interpreted. And then they started asking me to come up and start interpreting dreams. So this morning, I got to interpret some dreams. So I've been kind of like a guest moderator on that at times, but man, that's fun. I saw some little hearts or something come up. So I'm excited that somebody's listening because sometimes I'm up late and it's me and the Lord talking, but it's really good. It's kind of cathartic to get all this out. So the dream room was fascinating. If you ever go on Clubhouse, go into the dream. It's only once a week. It's on Saturday. That room is it's great. It's great because sometimes dreams are for the community. It's for more. Oh, now I can see that was you, Kiki Page. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday to you. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I'm here and I'm just pouring my heart out. Sometimes I'm pouring my heart out. Other times I'm just sharing just what's transpired for the day because that's what this channel is about. Um, my reflections and legacy, because legacy is again something else that I cherish that I've had ingrained in me. So after the dream room, guess what? I had a prayer call because I started a prayer call with my family, which happens to be my great grandparents, the descendants of. So I started because we have a Facebook group, well, it's not even private, it's a public Facebook group because we didn't want to restrict people that didn't really know how to use Facebook. So we have a group, it's the descendants of Richard and Mary Cross. And within that group, we've had many family reunions. We're about to have another one. So I decided, okay, we're having family reunions. Let's have a prayer call. So we have a prayer call every Saturday. And I happen to have one of my cousins come on who is a retired doctor. And he was saying he is just starting to use technology. He just bought a laptop. I mean, he's in his 70s and he's totally unfamiliar with technology. And so I talked to him about that. I showed him how to hit the button to unmute and how to move his camera, to come on screen. So, wow, I think people of either my generation or older really need to learn this tool of technology because if they don't, they're going to get left behind. And yesterday I was talking about the top 3 things that you got to learn, and AI is really one of the top. And then part of technology is learning to share content, kind of like I'm doing. So if you're not sharing content, you're not going live, then maybe it's good to start practicing. Practice someplace where it's safe, like a safe private Facebook group or something like that. You can even go on Clubhouse. Now, Clubhouse has the little bubbles. I used to think Clubhouse was a cult, but it's not. It has the little bubbles, right? So you have the little bubbles, and people don't see you, so it's not your face, but it's your voice. And so you get to talk, and you get to network. You get to go in different areas. There's educational programs on there. There is just so much. If you want to be a student, an avid learner, that's another platform. Now, this platform, YouTube, it's number one in terms of learning to see and hear. You get both in terms of content. You can have what's called long form content where you're talking and talking and talking and teaching and training which some of that I do. I do a lot of that actually for challenges and courses that I run. And then there's what you call short form content, where you just do maybe a reel or a short or something like that. And sometimes with what YouTube will do is they'll take a clip, a snippet. So if I'm saying something and the AI tends to catch me, and if I get in close or whatever, I do something that causes maybe excitement in the algorithm, all of a sudden, boom, I'll have a reel or a short. Or, yeah, happy Saturday to you too. So some people create theirs. My grandson, who is 8, creates his own shorts. And in fact, he's pretty proficient at it, and he's gotten a lot more views. And the things that he does are so simple. He'll just get a cup and put it in the water refrigerator, what do you call the thing, dispenser, and he'll videotape himself pouring a cup of water, and he'll say cup of water or ice, and all of a sudden everybody's watching. It's like, wow, the interesting things that people look at. And he's 8, and I don't know what ages the people are that are listening and watching those videos about water. But hey, it's better than some of the other content that he could be engaging in that he shouldn't be engaging in. So I'm happy that it's just water. So that's my share for today. The rest of the day is almost like a blur because, like I said, I'm not feeling the greatest, and I've been trudging along. Actually, I take that back. I did listen to the 100X Kingdom Entrepreneur Boot Camp or something like that. So they did a launch. They were teaching people how to launch their businesses online. And so they were in California, and they decided to do a um, virtual stream, live stream of it too. So I watched part of that, and I happened to hear Diaz, what's his name? Chelsea and Kevin. Keep forgetting Stephen. Yeah, Stephen Diaz. If you haven't heard of him, um, he does a lot of social media um, and e-commerce. He's like the king of e-commerce, kind of like Amazon, but the Alibaba, all that stuff. So if you ever want to hear or learn anything about e-commerce, he's the man. And now he has launched some AI boot camp. And both he and Pedro have partnered up to do an AI boot camp. Now I thought about it, but I'm like, I'm already in the AI certification program with Alicia Little, who is the queen of AI. So I think I have my hands full with my learning. Like I said, I'm an avid learner, avid learner. And so now I want to be an avid executioner, not executioner. I want to execute some things. I want to implement some things because it's great to have it all in your head. But until you actually set it free, then it's worthless. And I don't want to have all of this information and not share it. So that's why I do these reflections and I do content, I do courses. So Monday, I'm doing a Sheba method. So I'll put some information on this platform about that because that's about wealth creation. And I think wealth creation is our mandate, is something God said when He made us be fruitful and multiply. Well, I don't know. Multiplication is not addition. Multiplication is not subtraction. Multiplication is multiplication. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I want to multiply, and I think other people want to multiply too. Nobody wants to be without lack. I don't think we're created to be, sorry, I don't think we were created to be without, right? So that's my share, and my nose is starting to do its thing. So I better close out tonight and say thank you all for listening. Peace and blessings to you, and look for what I have coming down the pike on Monday. I'm gonna run that Monday, I believe at 5 Pacific Standard Time. So I don't know what time zone you're on, but Look for that link to join me in the Sheba Method. It's a 5-day challenge. So 5-day challenge. Excited to do that. And I'm going to drink a lot of tea and all that stuff tomorrow and maybe even tonight so I can get all this stuff out because I want to be able to talk without picking up tissue and blowing my nose. All right. Peace. Have a great night. Ciao now.